Hello, everyone. This is Jill Toro with SC Media and Cyber Risk Alliance, and I want to welcome you to this discussion as part of our Women in IT Security program. I am very excited to welcome with us today Ria Marku. She's a Vice President at JP Morgan, and she is one of our Women to Watch honorees. So first and foremost, Ria, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to represent JP Morgan Chase. And it's a great honor to receive this award. Thank you.
Oh, of course. So well deserved. I always like to kind of describe the category. Women to Watch is meant to really spotlight the women that are really starting not only to earn a spotlight for the work they're doing, but recognizing evolutions in the cybersecurity market and how, whether it be technology, whether it be demands of consumers, are evolving, and it's the women that are at the forefront to help enable that. So that's what this category is for, that you are among the honorees for, which is terrific. Before we dig in, I do want to kind of look backwards a little and just ask you, how did you get into cybersecurity? That's always kind of one of my first questions for the women I chat with.
Yes, absolutely. So I started my career with JP Morgan Chase, and I've been here for the past 8 years. I have a bachelor's and master's in computer science, and I secured a position with JP Morgan Chase. So I started my career at JP Morgan Chase as a virtual desktop infrastructure applications developer. That's a mouthful, of course.
Yeah.
But I started as an applications developer specializing in Java and C++ at that time. First year in, my leadership understood my potential. They challenged me by asking me to look at products which varied across domain. They asked me, they gave me the opportunity to evaluate products that range from authentication, authorization, information security, network, SaaS, that is software as a solution, etc. I took that as a challenge, and InfoSec was one of the most interesting and demanding domains at that time. So that was my introduction to cybersecurity.
Okay, that's great. And you've had, you made reference to this in terms of transitions, in terms of roles over the course of time. It's credit to employer for providing those opportunities, but it's also credit to you for grabbing them. So how would you kind of speak to that? Was this a matter of, hey, why not? I'm going to go for it. Or, did you ever kind of second guess? I mean, I think there's a lot of women that sometimes sit back and say, I don't know whether or not, I have the experience for this role. So, from your perspective, what made it appealing?
So I did, of course, second guess at every point. I do not know if it's like a female thing to second guess.
Yeah.
But I always had incredible leadership. I had people I could go and ask them for help. So I would ask for different people's opinion and make sure that I'm evaluating the risk. Sometimes I do go with the flow, and sometimes I would just stay safe to my comfort zone.
Yeah, but you trusted your instincts. I like that you evaluated risk too for your own career. It goes along with the cybersecurity mantra, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's a really good point. So you mentioned before that part of your role was kind of evaluating and looking at different product offerings. Something I have always, or lately really, found interesting for certain markets, finance being one of them, is that the needs and desires of consumers are kind of changing. There is more, as finance has always been, I would say superior when it comes to information security when you look at various markets. But now consumers are demanding more because of what they're used to, and they want more digital services and digital access to information. So that's a new challenge almost in a sense. So, there's a need for innovation, there's a need for security. So how do you view all of that?
Well, like innovation and security, they aren't two mutually exclusive items. And organizations shouldn't consider them as two different pillars.
Yeah.
And for financial institutions, it's increasingly more important to be compliant to multiple regulators, auditors, government bodies. So for us, it's increasingly important to make sure that all the solutions that we are providing are compliant with all these various government bodies. What we do is we make sure that we account for security right from the product evolution. We don't try to retrofit protections after innovation. It's almost like building a house without accounting for plumbing or electricity, right?
Yeah.
It is difficult, but we have to start the product evolution with security, innovation, and user experience in mind.
Yeah.
Like you said, we are a financial institution. It was not, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't long ago before when trading happened on paper. If we didn't look at innovation and risk the same way, we wouldn't have trading platforms, New York Stock Exchange, Wall Street, all these systems built electronically. We would still be trading on paper. So innovation is a necessity, and with innovation comes risk. It's our job to understand the risk and account for the right protocols to follow up.
Yeah, and it's a really good point, because I think, unfortunately, in a sense, that there are organizations out there where it's innovate fast, and it's, and very often developers are isolated from the security team. I think it's changing, but I do think, to your point, it creates challenges because you can't do innovation in a box, because going back after the fact. Yeah, it's a really good point. You have, really looked at this or supported execution of a zero trust architecture. It's definitely a concept we hear a lot about. It goes right along with what you were just talking about for the protection of data. How do you view that? To some degree, it's a philosophy. To some degree, it's, truly a model for execution. So how do you go about, viewing security from a zero trust perspective at JP Morgan?
Definitely. Being a financial institution, we have to make sure that everything is secure. Like, that's a given, right? If you look at solutions, the most secure piece of software will be something which is not connected to the internet, which is powered off, which is guarded by everybody in the world.
Yeah.
But we are in the business of serving customers both externally and internally. So that's where zero trust architecture comes in, with evolving security security issues. We have to evolve our business, the way we respond to the business needs as well. We have to evolve our technology. So zero trust architecture, zero trust security makes sure that we are catering to our business needs, our customer needs, by accounting for the right amount of security. We no longer just stick to the network perimeter security models. We say that we don't trust anybody. How do we move forward from there?
Yeah,
that's a new catchphrase. That's a new concept that we have embraced. So what's the second part of your question, Jill?
You pretty much answered it, just in
Okay.
terms of how that, I always find it interesting with zero trust because it is, it's a philosophy in a sense. So then the question becomes the how. How do you actually implement that? Because it is a shift, but I imagine it's a combination of tools, technology, and process, as they say, across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is true. Something else I did want to mention too, you worked or supported, I believe it's called Take It Forward, the Take It Forward program at JP Morgan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
tell us a bit about that?
Of course, yes. This is something I'm really passionate about. Take IT Forward is a program that is championed across JP Morgan Chase globally, across multiple regions. It's a program that encourages women in technology to pursue and to stay on track and be true to their gifts, which is technology. They provide incredible resources with respect to certifications in multiple technology certifications, as well as trainings, self-help sessions, introduction to mentors. They have career coaching sessions. They have multiple sessions. What is very incredible about them is we have a cohort located in each of the technology hub, and we have a leader who makes sure that everybody is participating in Take IT Forward. Everybody is using the resources.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's across all of JP Morgan?
That's across all of JP Morgan Chase, yes.
Okay, terrific, terrific. It's, we slowly but surely are seeing more, not only corporate ownership for those efforts, but actually putting in place actual programs. So it's really wonderful to see. That's terrific. Anything, we're unfortunately close to time, but anything else that is worth sharing in terms of your own experiences before we close it out?
Well, my journey so far has been a learning, it's been an incredible learning experience. The way I was introduced to cybersecurity has been fantastic. JP Morgan Chase definitely encourages talent to pursue, people like me to pursue whatever they want to. Your future is in your hands, you're in the driver's seat. So make the best of the opportunities you have. Sometimes you might not have the opportunities. Reach out to people, seek help, get the best out of any situation possible.
Yeah, that's great. And it's amazing because we hear so much about this talent gap and not enough people to fill the jobs. And yet I feel like a lot of people aren't raising their hand sometimes. So, doing more of that and finding employers that provide the opportunities, I think is key. Thank you, Ria, so much. And I want to again just say congratulations on the honor. But thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you, Jill.
Great. And I want to encourage everybody that's listening, please visit scmagazine.com, where you'll find all of our coverage of the wonderful honorees this year from women in IT security, as well as a lot of other content that really kind of focuses on diversity across the cyber community. Thank you for joining us.